quick from the background. Okay, y'all. What's up, y'all? It's another new video. We're doing another one with my daddy. This one is going to be it's going to be an uncomfortable topic that you have with your parents that a lot of us do not have with our parents. And I'm going to be having like conversation with my daddy about an uncomfortable
What you nervous about?
topic. I'm not nervous.
What
You nervous? Because I'm not.
What we talking about?
What we talking about? So, probably one of your favorite subjects.
What? Basketball?
No, sex. We talking about sex. So,
Alright, well, what you want to talk about?
so one thing that like being a child, right? And y'all know we have a hard time talking to our parents about sex. And we all have sex. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's how you got here.
All right, we know that anyways. And so I feel like my dad and like my parents and stuff, they have a real, what's the word? Like a particular way of like, what is it that you, like with the marriage thing? Because a lot of people feel like
Our views are different.
Yeah.
Than the majority. It ain't uncomfortable for me. It ain't uncomfortable to me because of how you came into this world and what I went through. So I choose to not approach it or to shy away from the conversation, right? Because I just remember the mindset that I was in when I was young and sneaking, and I never wanted that for y'all. You know, I don't want you to ever be uncomfortable, and I don't want you in no bad, that. I don't want you in no bad relationship.
Oh,
and I don't want you in no bad situation to where you feel like, hey, look, I'm embarrassed to go talk to my daddy. So if we get that out in the beginning, that look, nah, man, everybody has sex. Most of us enjoy sex. That's the uncomfortable stuff. Let's get that on out the way. I feel like there shouldn't be nothing you can't come to me and talk about, because I don't want you to be in no trouble, feel embarrassed, none of that, and feel like, I got to go to somebody else.
And so the reason why, well, y'all didn't catch it, but one thing in particular that he be saying is, don't wait till marriage. Test it out before marriage.
And let me say this before we go any further. These are my views with my kids. I'm not saying that this is what you need to be teaching your kids.
Right.
My experiences and my concerns. I'd rather my daughters be happy and successful, and that we can have a real relationship. So I always emphasize that it's not important to me that they wait until they're married. If they choose to do that, good. When the question presents itself that what would you do, and usually that's what I speak from. I speak from what my experiences. I always tell them no, I'm not gonna view you any different. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend that because I don't think it breeds success. I want my daughters to be successful. I want my daughters to be happy. And when I say success, I mean successful marriage. And I'm not, this ain't up for argument. I'm not looking for a debate from, this is just my daughter, what I share with my kids. If they do it and they manage it, if they say, hey, look, man, I'm gonna wait, Dad. I'm gonna say, hey, good for you. But Dad, what do you think? My life experience, I gotta be honest with my girls. When they ask me questions about my past, the things, the kind of man I was prior to marriage, I tell them the truth. So I just feel like I'm doing my kids an injustice if I start telling them to do things that I don't believe will breed success in a marriage. So, yeah, but I tell them don't be going to tell everybody what your daddy say, because daddy don't always know if he right. But for my girls, they gonna get the honest truth from me. So.
And what he views, so which is why I find it interesting, because most people or most parents or like most people say, oh well, you should wait till marriage, or you shouldn't do this and do that. So
but look, there's a double. See, this is how I feel about that. Where they're gonna find it shocking is that it's a father and a daughter. But what I feel that if you was a guy, people wouldn't find problem in that. I'm not gonna do that to my girls, and I think I want my girls to be just as successful and happy as my son. People are okay with the idea of a male going out and living his life.
Right, that's true. That's true.
But they have an issue when it comes to a woman going out, living her life and experiencing things and being 100% in her move if she makes a decision to get married and choosing somebody to live out her life with. And I don't think I'm not gonna be a part of that. That's just how I'm not gonna be a part of that.
Like the standards that they have for men and women, yeah.
Socially, accepted for a man to do one thing and a woman to do something else. And I ain't about that. See? I love my girls.
See, you all right with me.
I ain't about that. No, because look, listen, I'm telling you right now, I can kind of guess what kind of response this is gonna get. However, this is what I challenge y'all to do. Be honest with yourself. And a lot of men, I got a lot of friends that I've had these conversations with, and I'm like, nah. And they man, you talk to your girls about sex? You don't tell? Yeah, I talk to my girls about sex. You talk to your son about sex? And right then and there, they try to, some of them, I'll give them, some of them be like, you got me right there, dog, but that's uncomfortable for me. I'm like, why? It's still your child. Do you not want, and a lot of us men have to deal with the things that we've done in the past. Yeah. Some of our own encounters, and it's hard for us not to view. We don't want to admit that we view women a certain way. We want to keep them in a certain little box of little. But true. I'm not gonna view you less of my princess because you're doing human things. That ain't fair, right? And I put my son into a king category for certain reasons. Why can't I put you into a queen category for the same reasons, right? Living your life. So, again, disclaimer, I ain't telling y'all to teach y'all's kids what I share with mine. That's my opinion. That's my views. I want my girls to have a great
sometimes
life.
We need, I think it's good, which is why I brought this topic to the channel, simply because certain things, so there's my mama and then there's my daddy. Okay. Two different minds, two different views, and I feel like it's important that people see a different view of that, because like I said, people have to, be open. Not necessarily that they have to be open, but what's the word I'm trying to think of?
You gotta be able to agree to disagree and be in a position to where you can still hear somebody and kind of have an understanding that everything ain't gonna be like you see it. You know what I mean? But to me, I've lived a certain kind of life that I want you guys to avoid, right? So man, sex, it happens, right? So what I remember having a conversation with you and your sister, and the conversation was mainly based around some of the terrible things that I did in my teenage years.
Oh, right. That we feel like we get now.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, so that to me is how I came to this point. It's life experiences that got me to the point to where I'm comfortable. Hey, if you ain't embarrassed, I ain't embarrassed. But with that being said, I don't go prying into my daughter's adult lives, right? I put myself in a position to where, hey, look, you want to talk? We can talk. And if I sense that they are timid or they don't want to talk about something, I try to make my girls comfortable without being intrusive. I'm not going to intrude. When I'm saying, I just want them to know that, look, I ain't going to view you no differently. I'm not the outside world. I'm here to be your father. You're going to always be my princess. You're going to always be viewed. And I'm going to always look at you and see the queen in you, regardless. Like, I ain't trying to, I'm not supposed to be like the outside world. I'm trying to prepare my girls for the outside world. But I'm not going and being like, hey, there's a limit. Without me saying that there's a limit to where,
go out there and bust down.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be like, hey, go out there and just lay it on them. Nah, that ain't. Nah, I ain't pushing my girls. But I'm trying to teach them. If they got real concerns and, real questions, I'm not going to be like, oh, go talk to your mama. Or be judgmental, like, what you doing that for? No, because I know what they doing it for, because I've been down that road. I ain't doing that to them. I'm going to answer that question straight up. And I'm going to tell them straight up what I think that they need to avoid, the signs. I want to give them the game. I don't want the game to be given us from some other angle or some other view, because, man, I don't want my daddy to be looking at me like that. Or I'm embarrassed. Yeah, man, forget all that. Listen, I'll ask my girls straight up, hey, you like them? Your feelings hurt? I ask direct questions, right? I don't really care about all that. And if you mad, say you mad. I'm the person that you tell it to, and then I tell them when, hey, look, I got your back. You tell me the truth, and I'm gonna tell you what I think you should do, or listen, forget everything else. I just want that kind of relationship with my kids.
I think it makes it better too. Like, to know they're like, okay, all right, I feel like I can. I mean, even though it is still kind of like weird to talk about, like, oh yeah, whatever. But it does make it more comfortable. So like, that's why I feel like it's important that like people know that it's okay to talk to your kids about like sex. Like a lot of parents, I feel like, try to avoid it.
Hey, I think you know what though, Leah? There's definitely an older generation where it's just unacceptable.
Yes.
Right? But I also think that there's a generation of people like myself who it makes their kids uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, because I'm just sitting here thinking like, I know there's quite a few people that's like, all right, let's say, what you want to talk about? Because I just remember some of the conversations with you and Choice. You did that, Daddy? Yeah, I did that. Ooh. You did that? Yeah, I did that too. You gotta be prepared. So the people who are watching, right? So you gotta be prepared, because some of these people gonna watch this Leah and they gonna challenge. They gonna actually accept this challenge to go say, hey, Dad, let me holler at you. Now, before you do that, consider that Pops might be like, oh yeah, let's talk. What you want to chop it up about?
And he gonna tell you.
And tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You do. I think you do a little bit better than Choice. Choice thinks she ready, and then she asked me something, and then she won't talk to me for 2 days.
She can't believe it. Hey, that's just the life, But I think, like I said before, I think it's a great thing. We do have to be prepared for it. I just feel like it should be shared that like you're abused, because I feel like most parents don't look at it that way. a lot of older people are going to look at this and be like, what is he, what?
What are they talking about?
Yeah.
But I think a lot, you know what, Leah? Maybe, I want to believe there's more people than we think.
Yeah.
And maybe they think that it's just not
normal.
It's not socially or society does not accept it. You know what I mean? Because if it would be sad to think that there's a lot of men out here raising daughters. And I ain't saying you got to be completely comfortable with everything. And there's no limits. You still want to practice a measure of respect when you're having a conversation with your parents. However, there should be a level of comfort underneath that level of respect that your kids are not potentially in harm's way out of fear or, too much respect is required. So I can't tell my daddy that I want to go have sex. I want to ask him because I need a male's perspective. This guy's doing this, and I'd rather you come to me and be like, hey, Pops, yo, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm concerned about. And this is what so I can be like, all right, well, look, consider this, this, and this. And this is what I know about him or dudes like him. He look a lot like somebody at that age, and this is what that person that was thinking at that age.
Right.
Right. And having real conversations. I just hope that we wrong. I just, you know what I mean? I just hope that in 2021, with the way the world is, and the way, people always talking about change and equality, and that swings a long way.
Yeah.
And, it goes a long way. So
yeah, well, I don't know. I ain't gonna bring up a specific incident that was published, but I know that it is some dads that they're just not like that. They can't handle the fact of just even imagining their daughters having sex, but like you said, with the guys or with the sons, it's okay, which is...
Look, if you, I had a conversation with my girls and said, look, this is what I want you to avoid. I feel personally that a woman's reputation needs to be protected. Remember I had that conversation with you?
Agreed.
And I also talked to them about the double standards. And I was very blunt, very harsh in it, in saying, yes, your daddy had double standards until you start raising girls. And then when you start talking about and really thinking about what success really looks like, you start to see your double standards, and you start to see that this is a contradiction. So for all those fathers or all those men that may be introduced to this video, hey, come look at this. Daddy, I want you to look at this. Because that's what's going to happen. Right. My thing is that I just challenge you to think about that. No, by no means am I telling you to push your daughter into somebody's arms, but if you prepare your daughter, if you're really trying to prepare your daughter for success, be real. Challenge, ask yourself about the double standard and what does successful marriage and relationships look like. Talk to them about the things that can be harmful to them, the things that we as men have done to them. I ain't gonna tell nobody. Come on, man. He lying.
This is out in the next 10 minutes.
He gonna tell everybody.
He is gonna tell everybody. That is true. I believe that.
Man, I ain't been with nobody since. He lied. I ain't did. He lied. Okay? And if he ain't lying, assume he's lying without accusing him of lying, because it's in your best interest to protect yourself at all times, right? They may not have got that.
No, they got it. It was
I don't
clear.
need it. Okay, all right.
That was clear.
This is what some of the things that I share with my girls. I don't find no fault in that. I just know, and that all goes back to their reputation. That goes with their health. I don't want nobody giving them nothing that they can't get rid of. We had discussions about babies getting pregnant and what responsibility to assume.
Right.
Right. Be real with yourself. What kind of person you laying down with? You know, the responsibilities and the individual that you're looking at. Is he really equipped? Right, and owning your responsibility in it.
Right.
All right. Those are to me. It shouldn't be no different because you've got a male or a female, and I talk to my girls accordingly. Hey, no. If you can't be prepared to take care of that child on your own, don't get pregnant.
Right.
But he a good dude, and I don't care. Good dudes turn to bad dudes. Bad dudes turn to good dudes. What don't change in that whole equation though is the baby gonna more than likely be with you.
Right.
Right. And I know from experience. I know the damage that it can do. So I'm not gonna rob y'all of that. And I held my own self accountable, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta hey, listen, I ain't about to lie to my girls out, man.
or try to avoid the topic, in other words, or try to, go. Yeah, I feel like it's better if you just be upfront and just, if they do come to you about the topic, don't try to like I said, avoid it, because then that makes it more uncomfortable for them to try to talk to you about it. I know I've always been that way. Nah, I don't even want to talk about it. But now it's like we can joke about it. We get, it gets more comfortable along the way because of how he viewed things and explains it to me and my sister about, sex, about how he, how he see it. So I encourage.
And look, this is the other thing too. That I don't want nobody out here starting to mess with their pops. So my girls always came to me respectfully. That's what. Okay, so look, you just can't be going in there and dropping it on pops, talking about all the weirdest stuff now.
No,
you feel me? Like they came to me and we had. You know what I mean? It first started out with questions, and then when I kind of started to see like, all right, or when I became concerned, I would just be like, hey, real blunt, what's up with these boys? What y'all don't want to talk about it? Then this one, we gonna talk, and I sit there and talk and say, and they be like,
and tell us every single thing that the guy gonna do before, how he is, and.
I've been there before. And
it be 99% correct. Yeah. So, and that's not a lie, so.
Look, it ain't a whole, I mean, a woman can tell you about a man, but I don't feel like she can tell you more than I can tell you. Because I know what our bodies do. I know what our bodies desire. I know what we go. I just know. I'm a man. So I've been there before, and I'd rather you hear it from me and be disgusted by me for a few seconds than to be suffering for years with this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just rather you be like, daddy nasty. I can't believe, he trifling. I done heard it all. I'd rather y'all go through that with me. Than somebody else.
Yeah, but it's all good. It paid off.
Yeah.
Your ways.
We're gonna see. You know what? we ain't even halfway there yet.
You right.
You right. See. When you really in love and he the one, and then I'm like,
Red flag. That ain't
well. Hey, you didn't talk about the other thing. That's just right. All right. What? We had a conversation about living with somebody.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. I thought that was tied into like the marriage. Yeah. The
No, waiting on. Yep, shacking.
Shacking. Yeah.
From experience, right? Got a whole lot of people saying you shouldn't be shacking. You shouldn't be. Okay. You shouldn't live with somebody. I don't want to rub nobody the wrong way.
Oh, it's gonna be a whole.
Oh,
lot.
I already know. I know, but look, I say this. I understand your views about people living with one another. So I will say, if you have your own place and he has his own place, spend a few nights more so than a lot more seeing how this person lives, waking up with this person, right? Mm-hmm. Really encountering this person before you say, I do. Because I know more successful marriages than I do that come from doing that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I can see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't get married on nobody else's timeline. Meaning this. Man, y'all been together for 2 years. When y'all gonna get married?
Oh, that's the norm. That's what people always do.
Yeah, don't get married on nobody else's timeline. You got to put your own investigative work in.
Right.
And you got to check yourself, and how you usually do that is, to me, is by knowing how somebody lives. Now, I ain't saying go shack and all of that. I'm saying you don't really get to know a person.
Yeah. I agree.
You don't really get to know a person until you see how a person go to sleep and how they wake up and how they carry about in their household, how they manage their finances to keep the lights and stuff on, how you learn all of that stuff by doing that intern. That's how. Y'all don't want to call it shacking. We're call it get that intern.
But people don't like to. People see, the thing is, people like to be like, no, don't you do that. But then they be doing it. They do it. So it's just like, I feel like most people do that. They shack.
Now look.
Just starting at a young age, you start doing that. You move into your own place. You got your boy. Like that's just what people do.
Now check this out. I don't want this to sound like it's gonna sound like a contradiction to some. But consider what I'm saying, right? Now there can become a timeline. That timeline, that investigative work, can start working against you. Mm-hmm. You start, but there's so many things that I could go into with this. This is why I say don't take other people's advice. You got to know you got to know where your heart is, what marriage means to you, what the definition of marriage means to you, and then ask yourself, all right, do I even really want to get married? Or am I happy with just being with this person, right? Some people don't agree with that. Some people look at that and be like, man, that's crazy. You're going to be with somebody, you might as well get married. But everybody does not believe in that in marriage. I do, right? Because I've seen it be a blessing to me. I didn't at one point because I didn't know what the definition of marriage was. I didn't know what it really meant.
Yeah.
But you can, in my opinion, be in that intern too long.
Yeah.
So if using that as an example, right? Interns typically don't make what the person who got the job, who actually is a part of the company, makes.
Right.
But if you're gonna keep taking that intern job and keep coming back every summer for free, and you staying and you doing all the regular work, some people will look at that and be like, well, I'm cool, bro. You're going to keep doing the job of a married woman. You can stay too long and it can backfire on you, right?
Sense. Yeah.
Does not change my views on before you sign up for the long haul. Does not change my views, but you got to know who you are.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying? It doesn't change my views. Now, I notice a lot of people going to come back and they're going to say something in regards to that. Hey man, you can't be giving up the cows and milk and all that. They're gonna cover all the old school. But this is one of the conversations that me and my daughter, and this is how our conversations usually go. You see her when she said, to me it's a father's job to me, to be honest with my thinking, but to also lay it out, the possibilities. I'm not such a control freak. And I think that's what a lot of us make mistakes to, where it's going, no, you're going to do X, Y, and Z. No, I want to paint a picture so that she can see it clearly. She can see her options, and I think that's my job. And if it calls for me to tell the truth or have an uncomfortable conversation, then so be it. But I want my girls to see the whole canvas, the entire thing, so that they have a fair and legitimate opportunity at success. That to me, that was a perfect. That just happened organically. That was real. That's usually how our conversations go.
Yeah.
This is what it is, and then that's it. To me, that's a father's job. It's not for me to be like, no, you're gonna do X, Y, and Z. That was pre-18.
Yeah.
You know?
How you used to look.
Yeah, like, no, you're going to do X.
Right.
But now, if I'm really trying to help you succeed, is, well, Leah, this is what your daddy did. This is how I see it.
Right.
And here's okay, now I'm done.
Yeah.
Look at it.
I feel like people forget, though, like, people that have those views or try to go hard for, like, those no shacking or don't have sex, like all this stuff, they forget, like, wait, I did this and maybe if I told her, like, they forget, which is so important that, like, you, like you said, like, you take your experiences and you lay it out and you like, wait a minute, I'm in a successful marriage at this moment because I did this, but also this could have been better. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, you take that, and I mean, I think that it's...
They don't forget, baby girl. They get scarred. Right?
Okay.
They don't, and they love their kids so much. This is just my opinion. I don't think that they're afraid, they're scarred, they're concerned. I all feel like it's coming from a very good position that they want to control it.
Yeah.
And it turns into something else.
I can see that.
And those same people will be the ones that tell you, say this all the time. Let go and let God. Yeah. Right? You know I'm telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
They'll say, let go and let God. But that's easier said than done. I don't never assume that they're just trying to be bad parents. And that's not what I'm saying at all. And I don't know everything. This just my way of looking at it. It's like, hey, look, everything is from my personal experience. I don't want to be the one that says, you're going to do, because I really don't know. If I could I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is what I've been through, my life experiences, and that I've come to a conclusion that it is not my job to give you the answers, but it's to give you a truth and to make you see the whole thing. I just want you to see it. Just see it and consider this. But then when you be more specific and you say, Daddy, but what did you do? I'm gonna tell you, like, yo, this is, and then step further, Daddy, what would you do?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I would do. But that's just it to me.
But would you do it never mind. Never mind, because I was about to get a little...
What?
Would you... Nah, you...
Say it.
Because sometimes, like, when you ask okay, for instance, if I was to have a situation, I don't know what type of situation, but if I ask you, what would you do in that situation, are you talking about as the man that you are right now? Or then? It depends on the topic,
that's right? So what depending on what we're talking about. So if you came to me and you said, and you're talking to me about a guy who's your age, right? I'm going to assume, okay, this is what she asking me about. She asking me about him, this guy. And I'm going to speak based on my experiences when I was that age, right?
Right. Normally you do, yeah. Now I think about it, yeah.
Okay, so think about it like this. We've had conversations about guys, and I'll tell my daughter, she'd be done with them, right? He this, and I'll be like, you right. And then she'll say, but you like him. I'd be like, yeah, I like him. I'd be like, I like him. And she, how you like this dude? The reason that I can like him is because I can look at him. You're not supposed to like the things that you're currently going through. But I got years on him, and I know that those things are where he's at, and he's supposed to be there at this particular point in his life.
Right.
Your expectations are higher.
Right.
Right? They're higher than what's realistic for this young man at this time. I'm looking at the underlying qualities, the underlying things, the things that you got to go beyond the surface, which I can look past that and be like, yeah, I remember being that dude lying his butt off. Yeah. Or he exaggerating, or he doing, whatever. Or he, I can look past that and be like, yeah, baby girl, that's a good dude. But then I'll come back and say, but can you handle it? That's the point where it says, when are you willing to deal with it right now? That's me saying, yo, look, now you got to put some of the responsibility on you. I'm not saying be with the dude, but look, this is what I see, the big picture. This is the canvas. I'm laying it all out, but just my views on it. But
yeah,
I'm curious to see.
Anyway,
you should have brought your sister in here for this.
I was going to, but
you should have brought her in here so she could see,
do the next
so that
one.
they could really see how she. Hey, she would have been sitting over here.
That's a whole different. I did think about it too, but
should have brought her in here.
Yeah, we're gonna do another one with her, because that one right there.
Yeah, these people gonna be. Listen, well, stand by.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, with that, what?
I ain't telling y'all what to do with your kids. These my kids.
Yeah, that's true. And we're not saying that you're terrible, that you're bad parents because you have a different view, or that ain't the case. It's just, I feel like it's interesting that he views it this way, and that, it's a uncomfortable topic that I feel like a lot of parents don't talk, well, especially men and their daughters, fathers and daughters. Like, they just don't. It's just an uncomfortable topic, and I just feel like it should have, y'all should see that it's okay. It's okay to talk to your daughters and your dads about sex, because we as humans, we have sex.
I'm not gonna drag on. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. It is, to me, the father's responsibility to make their daughters comfortable. It is the daughter's responsibility to be respectful. That is just how I view it. I need to be transparent as possible, forthcoming as possible, even if that means me falling on the sword and being looked at as the bad guy, if that means making you comfortable. But the respect does not go away because now you don't get too comfortable where you're being disrespectful now. You still got to be respectful and be mindful of who you're talking to.
But what's disrespectful? Because I don't even think you were specific on that.
You don't want to, it's your choice of words, your body language, being considerate of the generational changes, the things, just being mindful, but you ain't gonna be coming in here, I ain't gonna say that.
Just remember who you're talking to.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Just the things that but you still should be comfortable enough to where there shouldn't be no subject that you can't talk about. If it can happen during sex, you should be able to talk about it.
Right.
If it's like, so if you can get pregnant, if STDs, you should be able to talk about it.
Right.
Now, being disrespectful, Now, don't come to me talking about no positions and how to do it, and don't be doing that now. Now, there you go. That's a good example.
Awkward.
Yeah, now look, now you're getting a little crazy now. Now, I'm talking about let's keep it.
Yeah, no.
And if you got questions about, to me, should I? Dad, I'm thinking about, and you know what people say about girls that do it on the first night and all of that. Daddy, how would you view it? I'm gonna tell my daughter the truth. And I want her to be able to come and say, yo, well, he told me this, he lying. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those to me aren't disrespectful questions. Those to me are you in your journey as becoming a young lady and you going to a helpful resource.
Right.
Look, no. Daddy, he told me he only, I'm gonna start asking questions. Those are things that I feel like as a father, it's my job to make you feel comfortable, and I'm gonna keep it as real as possible without me being disrespectful to her. And when they say, hey, Dad, did you do that? Because they said you've taught your kids to fact check. We've taught our kids to ask questions, but then when they ask and it pertains to us, we can't lie. So in other words, well, Dad, how you know? I did it. You can't be like, well, I just know. I got a whole lot of friends, and then you're going to lose them. They're going to start, now your credibility is shot.
Yeah.
So you've taught them to fact check. Hey, how do you know this? What are you pulling this from, Dad? How do I know that I can rely on you and your answer? How? So, hey, you did that to my mom? Yeah. What? You got to be ready for that. You have to me, that to me is the best.
I agree. I mean, sometimes you don't want to hear it, but I mean, it's the truth. I feel like it's the truth. Okay, all right. I think that you want to end them with something.
No, I ain't gonna say nothing now. Yeah, they coming.
Hey, again, we're not saying that you a terrible parent because you view something a different way. This is just his views, and I feel like it's great because it makes me comfortable, not uncomfortable, but makes me more comfortable to even try to talk to him about not just that, but more things also. So I encourage like all y'all like parents and stuff to just like be considerate of that, like just being open about anything, like he said, like just anything. But yeah, that's it.
What is this?
That's it.
Daddy Video 102?
Yeah, we can say that.
Daddy Video 102?
Yeah, 102. Yeah. All right, y'all. So we hit y'all with another video, okay? But
I believe you just did it with that. What we gonna talk about next time?
It's some other stuff that you told them already. We be talking, so but okay. All right, you want to tell them anything else?
I'm gonna tell it. Hey, this for all y'all young men out there think y'all gonna get a one up on my girls. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. It's actually sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's bad because it comes back and bite him. And then I'm gonna say this because we'll cut somebody off completely. Yeah, y'all. We'll be done. All because of what you say. All because, and I'm not, listen, we just completely cut them off. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But sometimes, listen.
You know too much.
Yes. You know too much, and
you gotta remember though, it's all about growth.
Yeah.
When it come to men,
and me too.
Yeah, it's growth.
Me too. But like you said, you don't sit around and wait on nobody either. So we're not doing that. So anyways, y'all, we ending this video. I hope y'all have a great day, evening, night, whatever it is on y'all's end. And that's it. Peace.